mention my first Jerry here, Jerry Patterson and Greg Abbott have been just yeomen for me, and for some reason they just decided that they were going to kind of put a lot of other things aside and help me out in the state of Texas. They've been absolutely wonderful. It's so delightful to see Mrs. Gordon here. I think his sister is here, John. The last time well, not the last time that John and I were together, but together in Texas maybe, was in Tyler, Texas a few years ago when he was first running for the Senate. I came down here, and I'm partially responsible for getting John Cornyn elected. I didn't And this last Jerry is my wife, Fred Thompson, who I'm delighted to have here with me today. And we've been on the phone this morning. We've got little girl 4 and little boy 11 months at home, and that's a large part of the reason why I'm here today. A large part of the reason why we're here today. She comes with me whenever we can on the trail. You really bring back a lot of wonderful memories, Frank. Betsy did live here. I had some wonderful times here with her. San Antonio is near and dear from a lot of different standpoints. And that's exactly what we're doing. And,
yeah.
So I'm proud to follow him here all the way to the Alamo. I won't stay quite as long as he's had to. And it's good to be here at the barn door. That even brings back some old memories. I remember all my years growing up around Lawrenceburg, they'd say, that boy's going to be big as a barn door. And sure enough. We have had a remarkable couple of weeks since we announced that we were going to run for president. And I've got to say that it verifies exactly what we thought. And that was that the people are ready for some serious conversation about some serious issues by somebody they think is trying to shoot straight with them. And whatever he says, he believes. And that's the highest compliment that I can have. And that is the thing that I want to keep with me through thick and thin throughout this thing. Because I think that's what the American people are hungry for. We're supposed to be back on our heels a little bit as a country. We get a lot of criticism. We're supposed to be back on our heels as a party. The pendulum swinging against us. It's going to be a tough year, and the war, and all that kind of stuff. I really believe that if we stick with our principles and we do what is right, and we don't try to follow the same old patterns, the same old way, the same old kinds of candidates, and the same old checklists, I don't care what the pundits say this year, we're going to win the election next year. If I didn't have that faith, I wouldn't be here. I've got that faith. I know that we can do it. When we started in Tennessee back in 1994, I felt the same way. You know, I was having some enjoyable times. I'd been a lucky man. My folks came in off the farm and started a family, and we got through law school and got to go to Watergate and experience that as counsel for the Watergate Committee. Got to be a federal prosecutor, but I felt the necessity at that time to put that aside, put my law practice aside. I'd even kind of stumbled into the movie business. You know, they made a movie about a case I had, and I played myself in the movie. And only in America, right? I've never had an acting lesson. Of course, my friends say that's obvious. I don't need to. But I put that aside and decided that it was time that I stepped up. Because I was concerned about the direction the country was going in. And we went all across that state. I got in my pickup truck, and we talked about first principles of this country, the things that this country was founded upon, the things that are enduring, things that don't change in a changing world, things that are handed down through the ages and accumulated the wisdom of the ages, and found a home in the Declaration of Independence, which reminded us that our basic rights come from God and not from any government. The Constitution of the United States, which divided up power, reminded us that we don't want too much power in too many hands, either at the federal level or between the federal and the state level. It's called the system of federalism, based on the notion that not every answer is found in Washington, D.C., based upon the idea that the government's powerful enough to do everything for you, is powerful enough to take anything away from you. And that resulted in the rule of law and market economies and the sanctity of human life and competition among free Americans and trade and those things that made us great, made us the greatest country in the history of the world. And not only that, served as a model for any other country that wanted to apply those same principles and become prosperous as we were. And no country that's ever tried it, those principles, the rule of law and market economy and trade, has ever failed economically. So that's the things we talked about then. That's the things I'm talking about today. I don't think principles change. Circumstances change, but principles don't. My philosophy doesn't depend on my geography. I say the same thing wherever I am. And if we stick to those, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. So I'm running today not as somebody who feels like he's got all the answers to everything, and not as somebody who's craved to hold the office of the presidency, because I don't. I would have tried it before. I would have started running as a, high school junior, like a lot of folks have. The man has to meet the times, as far as I'm concerned. And the times are different, the principles are the same. You can tell the things that I've been blessed with in my life, just in the last several years, because you stop and think, what kind of country, what kind of a world are we leaving, what kind of a place are these children going to grow up in and your grandchildren, and what can you do about it? How many people really have an opportunity to do something about it? In my experience, and having seen the world from a lot of different angles, and my country from a lot of different aspects, I'm convinced that we're going to need strong leadership within these next few years. I'm concerned about the direction my country is going to be going in over these next few years and the pressures that are coming about in our political system that